Hello and welcome to UK Highland Photography here on YouTube, the channel dedicated to helping you to become a better photographer. Today we're going to be talking about what depth of field is in photography. On a personal note, then I like to refer to depth of field as to being the zone of focus. Instead, that is just me, but let's move on. In photography, then you must always remember that it is aperture that affects the depth of field that you do see with an actual photograph. You should always remember that it is wide apertures such as f1.8 which will always add a blur effect with regards to your photographs, and it's always narrow apertures such as f9 which will always add sharpness with regards to your photographs. So let's have a look at a real life working example of depth of field in action. As you can see here behind me, there's a sewing tape measure. Now, as you can see, the sewing tape measure has a lot of blur added to it. This is because the shot itself was taken on my lens's widest aperture, which was f1.8. Wide apertures such as f1.8 will always add a blur effect to your photographs, like the one showing. Now we move on to the next shot. It's the same sewing tape measure, but this time it's been taken on a more narrow aperture of f9. Notice how you can see the numbers more visible on actual tape measure. Notice that the zone of focus is now increased further throughout the image to actually reveal the numbers of the sewing tape measure. This extended range of depth of field is typical of apertures such as f9. Now let's move on to the very last shot. As you can see, it's the same shot again, but this time it's got more detail, and the reason why it's got more detail is because it was taken on a narrow aperture of f22. Now f22 is the most narrowest aperture that my camera allows me to go. As you can see, I can actually see all the way back to the number 20 with an actual photograph of the sewing tape measure. So there you go guys, there was our introduction as to what depth of field is in photography. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and when you get the time, check out our online shop over at www.ukhighland.com.